What's good? What's good, A1 family? Smitty Sports World. What's good, everybody, man? Welcome to the show that's cool and fly to A1 Forever Sports. Chris Tipmore here. Why settle for less? We can have more of the vision and be generational because it's always time to be. And today, man, I got my co-host today is going to be Mr. Antwon Smitty Smith. Man, what's good with you, my brother?
What's good, Tip, man? Same old thing, man. Another day, another story, and it's football season. That's about all I can say.
Exactly, man. You already know we coming off of that win, man, 19-3. Beautiful, beautiful win, beautiful showing by the Atlanta Falcons. You already know. So, I mean, let's get into a little recent Falcon news just before we get into the actual topics of the show. All right, starting off with some recent Falcon news, and I will start. We made a transaction. Mr. Frank Glenda, 6'1", 225, former Michigan Panther. Hey, his coach, Mike Nolan, and we already know who that is, former Falcons defensive coordinator 2012 to 2014. Talking about Glenda now, USFL Defensive Player of the Year, led the league in tackles. How many? 115, 3 interceptions, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 6 pass breakups, and also 6 tackles for a loss. Now it's a 10-game season now, and this man right here, he was named Defensive Player of the Week 4 times. So Falcons been going USFL shopping, especially after finding that diamond in the rough, Mr. D. Alf.
Yep,
Yes, sir.
he was in the CFL, and boy, that was a great find. And we know Terry, he loves the bargain shop.
Yeah, man. I mean, they're going XFL, CFL, USFL, and they're just finding like little players that they can use, man. It's really a beautiful thing, man. How about you tell me a little bit more about this Bless Austin? I see we had signed him earlier today.
He's a cornerback, man. He's been around since 2019, six
Yes, sir.
round pick by the Jets. He played first couple of seasons in New York. Actually started some games.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Third year he ended up in Seattle. Had a decent year. The second year with the Jets, but going to Seattle, he was mainly a reserve special team guy. And then last year in 2022, Bless Austin spent 2022 on the Broncos practice squad.
Indeed, indeed. So really, he hasn't played since 2021, and honestly, man, Austin, he's joining one of the deeper groups on the roster, right? I mean, got Mike Hughes, Trey Flowers, with Darren Hall, Armstrong, Brooks, Phillips III, who we still waiting to see. So it's
Okuda and Chotorrea, right?
yeah. So it just as far as like he's going for a reserve role. So I'm interested to see where he falls into this whole lineup, and I'm pretty sure we'll see him. We should see him Friday because he has a short time span to make this roster.
Yep. But the good thing about preseason now with the rosters, they used to cut them down every couple of weeks. But now
Indeed.
it's just one cut day, and that's August 29th for all teams to cut their roster down to 53 players. So these players actually have an extra week and a half to get shit together and get their stuff together to make the team. So that is a plus.
Indeed, definitely is, man. Definitely is. And then also just continuing with the recent news, we already know when Glenda arrived, someone had to be cut, and this go round it was Michael Walker, man. So how you feeling about that?
Uh, I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
Now, the one thing that I was surprised about was I thought he was going to make it at least through preseason. But
yeah, I can see that.
the more I looked at it, the writing was on the wall. Two reasons why. One, he was a Dan Quinn, Thomas Dimitrov cast off.
Indeed.
Two, he started with the second unit, third stringers, in a preseason game. And he was a
Hmm.
starter last year. That's definitely a red flag. That means you on your last leg. All a linebacker has to do is come in and outplay you for that game and you off the roster. And that's exactly what happened. Mike
Sitting.
Davis was flying all over the field in the second half. Tay Davis got into it with 5 tackles. So Nathan Landon had a sack. So I mean the writing was on the wall, man. So he could not make it with depth. That's definitely a red flag. So it wasn't a surprise, but like I said, man, I wish him the best out of 3 seasons, man. And I vouched for him. He had a career year last year. He was just not consistent enough for Arthur Smith and Frank Bush to keep him on the team, and I'm not mad. But like I said, I wish him the best in his endeavors, and hopefully he gets his career back on track.
Indeed, man. He was definitely the opening day starter next to Rashad Evans, and we know that he lost his job pretty much halfway through it, and it was due to inconsistencies and making tackles and having coverage, the mental stuff, So and being
Right.
inconsistent, and going back to your point, playing with the second team, he played 24 snaps, against Miami, and
Right.
then he had 11 on special teams too. So it's like we're trying to find you somewhere. We don't necessarily want to get rid of you, but like you said, the writer was on the wall. He leaves the Atlanta Falcons with 187 combined tackles, 3 interceptions, and a sack, man, in 20 games. So, like you said, he
Yep.
had a better year last year, but just wasn't enough. And I have to say, man, regardless of how people may feel about it, I'm happy that the regime is like pretty much no nonsense, and we're really dedicated to putting the best players on the field. Like
Right.
I'm with that. I'm completely with that. So, like you said, best wishes to Walker, and I'm pretty sure he'll get picked up. I wouldn't be surprised just because he is a Dan Quinn guy, like you said. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys may give him a run or something like that.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's what I said. Yeah, I could
yeah,
definitely see that.
I can definitely see that as well, man. So, anything else you have as far as like recent Falcon news before we move on?
No, between those signings and transactions, nah, not much.
All right, guys. So let's move on. Let's move on. Okay, so Falcons over and unders. Let me give a little explanation behind this, man. See, what's going on is we're giving pretty much the over and unders of the starters because the starters will be playing. So it's an over and under here on the starters, man. And I would like to start with my first pick here, Desmond Ritter. And I'm expecting maybe at least maybe like 15 to 20, 25 maybe snaps with about 10 to 15 pass attempts. Let's say about 6 to 10 handoffs, giving off to the running back and ending with 123 yards, no touchdown, no pick. What you think
Hmm.
about that, Smith?
Over under on that. I go 20 touchdowns. And I'm gonna stick with my yards. I'm gonna go 33. Y'all can comment in the comment section over or under 3,300. But I'm gonna go 3,300 on yards, 20 on touchdowns. Interception, I'll give him 10. Because he's still learning, maybe more. Um, Completion percentage, that's an important one.
Mm-hmm.
I would say 66, somewhere in there, 65, 66 percent completion percentage, which is pretty fair for a second year guy. But yeah, Desmond really is going to be an interesting one to watch on the over and under because he got a lot of people against him.
He does. He does have a lot of people against him, man. And I think it's like I know he's going to get some snaps, but I don't think he's going to get as many as I want him to get. But I think he's going to get a significant amount of snaps because we do have. It's only 4 games we have of him as far as like on film. So I think he does need to have at least a decent amount of snaps because we still only have one more preseason game left. And let's just be honest, as fans, we want to see Ritter, man.
Man, look, I told you last week, and you remember this. I felt like he should at least play the first quarter last week
Man,
because
yes,
we
I
all
was
we
with you.
all know he needs reps. Now, I understand the logic behind what you were thinking, trying to get these second string, third string guys motivated to play, see what you have, but you have a young quarterback who needs reps, needs snaps with his first unit. So it was kind of disappointing last week that Ritter didn't start, but this week he should at least play the first quarter, which he's probably not going to do either. But I feel like he
Yeah,
should play at least the first quarter this week. And since you didn't play him last week, next week against Pittsburgh,
he needs even more reps.
you need more reps because
He
going
needs
into the season with a young quarterback, he's still learning how to read coverages. He's still learning how to read checkdowns. He's going to have to learn how to look off safeties and corners. So he just needs a lot of reps to get these things flowing in the right direction. Because if he don't, it's gonna be a long season.
Indeed, indeed. What's up in the chat, man? What's going on, everybody? Dirty Bird Bill, man. Shout out to you. What's going on, Mr. Winston Thornton? And what's going on, Mr. John Higgins? What's good? Also, we got out of our Falcon Mind in the building. Oh,
Y'all,
appreciate that
please
as
go
well.
check them out. Please go
Oh
check
yeah,
them out,
hey
man.
man, good content right there. I'm telling you, I'm saying I do check them out. Good guys right there, man. They got good content, man. So yeah,
And
if you're not already,
you better have your mind right, cause Mike gonna pop them questions on you, and
hey,
it ain't gonna be nothing nice. I'm just telling you.
yes
But
sir, yes sir.
while y'all is here and while we doing the show, man, everybody in the chat, please go over to A1 Forever, hit that subscribe button, and
Oh
help your boy out, man. Help him grow in this YouTube world, man. That's what
yes,
we all about, man. Helping each other grow. Shout out to Zay in the Bag, man. He started his YouTube channel not too long ago, so he's doing his thing on YouTube now. So hey, Zay in the Bag, just keep doing your thing, man. Always be you and always be authentic. That's
yes
always my
sir,
best advice.
yes sir, man. That's all anybody can do is be themselves, man. I'm a very big. I'm very big on individuality and just being yourself, man. That's why, hey, that's why Smitty is who he is, and that's why who I am, and we just flow, man.
Right.
Doing this Falcon
Hey,
thing and doing just the sports thing, just overall. All right, man. I definitely want to continue though. Want to continue one second here. Definitely want to continue on the Falcon over
before
and
you
under.
continue, man, say shout out to my girl Joy Blankenstitch. Y'all please
Okay.
go if y'all got an old lady or y'all got girls and they like eyelashes, please go check out on TikTok. Order from her, man. She does very good work. So please go order your eyelashes.
Hey
Women.
man. Yes,
So
yes, yes, man. Hey, like you said, you got a girl, man. Go ahead and show her the world, man. Go ahead and do good for her, and she'll do good for you. I'm a big believer in that. Yes, sir. But let's get back to these over and unders, man. I got a Bijan Robinson sighting for you. Bijan Robinson.
uh,
Yes, sir, man. I'm going 10 to 13 snaps for Bijan, but only about 4 to 7 rushing attempts. I'm gonna say about 3 passes thrown his way, him finishing with 22 yards rushing, 10 yards receiving. But hold on, let me tell you why. Hold on, before y'all jump on me and like, hold on, we need more of Bijan. I want more of Bijan. Shoot, I play him the whole game, maybe not the whole game, at least a whole half at least. But let's just be honest, man. They don't want to give away too much with the offense. Period. That's why like these numbers are kind of low, really at the same time too. And Bijan, I feel like they're gonna be stingy on Bijan just because we got Tyler Algiers. I don't expect to see much of Cordero Patterson just because he really doesn't need training camp or it's in preseason. He already knows
right,
his job, what to do. He's a
right.
veteran, so he knows what to do. But yeah, for Bijan, I feel like they're gonna be stingy on Bijan, man. I hope not, but these are just over and under predictions as far as production on the field, man. What you thinking?
Over under on the yards. You said 22 rushing. I
Yeah,
can see that.
22 rushing and about
But
10 receiving.
I'm gonna go a little bit over that. I'm gonna go about 35 yards and probably 15 receiving. I think he can get anywhere from 10 to 15 touches easily. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna lay that even right there, at 10 to 15.
All
Now
right.
we won't get a heavy dose of him because it's preseason. Like you said, they don't want to give away what they're
Yeah,
doing, but at the same time, you don't want to risk injury. So
it's
we
true.
can see Tyler Algier start the game. Bijan Robinson possibly come in some point in the first quarter, maybe second quarter. So over under on Bijan, I kind of agree with where you're going, but I got to go 35-15 rushing and receiving.
Indeed. 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 I can go for that. I can go for that, man. All right. I'm going to move right on along, man, because I got two more for you. I got to move on right along, man. And of course, in the chat, if y'all got any feedback, if y'all, as far as the snaps and everything, please, by all means, what I'm saying, give them up, and I'll do my best to get them up here so we can talk about those as well.
Our boy Winston Thornton got one. He got rid of 22 touchdowns, 3,200 yards, 13 interceptions. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool. So he right in the
that is pretty
ballpark
cool.
where I'm at. Everybody in the same ballpark.
Right. That is pretty cool right there, man. I can see that. I'm hoping he have a little bit less touchdowns. I'm hoping around 8 or 9. But hey, that's 13 still is not bad, especially for a first year.
Right.
Especially for a first year. So yeah. All right. Real quick, Drake London. Drake London. I'm going with 10 to 12 snaps for Drake. But believe it or not, I'm only going to go no more than in between 3 to 4 catches and in between 17 and 30 yards.
Ooh, boy. I got to go under on catches. I'm gonna just go 2 catches. I'm gonna go
Okay.
2 catches, 20 yards.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have to play. It just,
Right.
it's preseason, so maybe he get one or 2 catches in, but I don't think he goes over 20 yards. I think there will be like quick slants, quick outs, and things like that. But hey, we'll see, because last year as a rookie, well, guess what? His first catch was 25 yards. So
Right. So
we'll
it's
see.
just
We'll see.
we'll see, man. I know originally I did have 2 catches, 17 yards just originally, but I was like, man, he may, just because of what you just said, he may get 1 catch that may be 17 yards, and then the second catch
Right.
may be something small. So, he has that ability. He's definitely a big play threat, as we all know. So that's just another thing too that we have to look at for. Real quick, man, we got bald head Falcons fan, man. Desmond Ritter, 31 touchdowns, 3,500 yards, 5 interceptions.
Ooh, boy,
I
he bold.
absolutely love that. I absolutely love that.
Boy, 31 touchdown. We going to the Super Bowl.
Well, I absolutely love that. Hey, we're gonna speak that one into existence. Maybe if we can get that one right there. That's the, as they say, that's the one. That's the one right there.
That's the
Yeah,
one.
that's the one. That's a nice one. That's a nice one. Let's jump down to another one here.
Devontae Grant.
Yeah. This is another one. 2 drive. Oh, this is for the preseason game. Okay, so yeah,
Right.
so 2 drives for Ritter, 4 for 667. Okay. I'm going over that. Like of course, I think we both kind of gonna go over that one, but that's a possibility as well, because they could be
But
stingy on Ritter.
I'm gonna be honest. I think they're right on point, because we know that Arthur Smith loves to run the football, so we're not gonna put a lot of pressure on Ritter. However, if he does play the first quarter, he's gonna go way over that.
Yeah.
So it just depends on how much he plays. But I agree with that one. 2 drives, 67 yards. That's pretty good.
That's not bad at all. That's a sample size, exactly. So, but if he does that, I feel like he's definitely gonna play way more in the Pittsburgh game. He has to. Like, come on
Right.
now. Like, it's just if you're gonna
But
bring it back.
with that line right there, also, if he gets those 67 yards, I expect a touchdown with that. I'm gonna just be real.
Yeah, for sure.
Got to get it in the end zone.
Definitely got to get in the end zone. The same red zone is definitely something that I feel like we should be able to improve on. Too many weapons. I really don't expect us to be bad on red zone this year. Can't afford that. Last player that I have, which may be the most important now, Kyle Pitts. Kyle
I knew
Pitts.
that was coming.
Oh yeah, it got to.
I knew that was coming.
Don't make no sense not to. But yeah, man. So we got Kyle Pitts real quick, man. I'm going with 10 to 15 snaps. A bold 10 to 15 snaps right here for Kyle Pitts, man. With 2 to 4 passes thrown his way, ending with 14 yards, bringing him on off, and just giving a sample size, working him back into the offense, man. What you think?
From what I've seen in training camp and OTAs, he looked like he's back on track, not wearing a brace anymore on that knee. I agree, 10 to 15 snaps, possibly 2 to 3 catches, for probably 35 to 40 yards. Just all depends, because like I said, man, he's the X factor this year. A lot of people don't want to talk about it, but a tight end that a linebacker cannot guard, a cornerback cannot guard, and a safety cannot guard. That is the ultimate weapon for any offense. And even though we got all these new weapons, number 8 is still the key weapon, because he's going to patrol the middle of the field, the outside of the field, and he's probably going to help determine how good we run the football with the way he catch the football, opening up the offense. So it's going to be tit for tat, but Kyle Pitts is definitely one to watch.
Oh yeah, man. Mr. Mark, Money Mark, Kyle Pitts, 850 yards and 6 touchdowns. I love that stat line. I actually
That's fair.
that's that yeah, I think so too. Just because him coming back and then being a part of this offense, which I believe Ritter's gonna pass that ball around, which is a great thing, man. It's a great thing because you have multiple weapons to pass to, something that's gonna make the defense think, man. So I like that right there. Thank you, Mr. Mark, for that. That over under there. And what we got here? We got another Cal Pitts sighting.
Uh,
Ah,
that's my
1K.
girl. My girl
Yeah,
Joy said 1K. I'd love to see that, man.
man, heck
If
yeah.
if,
Because in my
if he
mind,
gets
that's really what I want. I really want 1K. So that's definitely in
and
my
if
mind.
he gets 1,000 yards receiving, that absolutely means Desmond Ritter is doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing.
That means
Um,
he's on that way to that 35.
on that way to that 35 and that
That
probably we
31
talked
touchdown.
about 35. If Drake London and Kyle Pitts go over 1,000, hell, he might be at 4,000. Who
Man,
knows?
what? And I'm talking
If
about, and I
Joe,
need all that.
it's a stat I learned not too long ago. If Joe Namath can get 4,000 yards in one season, why can't Desmond Ritter? And Joe Namath wasn't a passing quarterback. Well, he was a passing quarterback, but he wasn't known for having those big games, yardage wise. So if he
Right.
had 4,000 yards in one season, why can't Desmond Ritter?
Indeed, man. I'm gonna run back real quick, man. I'm gonna bring this one up here. Wait a minute, man. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Like we was
And my
on
boy
point.
Winston, boy,
What have we done? What is
Winston
going on?
stay on it. And the crazy part about it, I agree with him because I know the numbers that I gave y'all. But on the other side, I kind of agree he may not play. Because guess what? Like I just said a little while ago, injuries can happen. And you just got this guy back from an MCL injury and he's, battled his way back. And if he's not, well, he's probably ready. But if Arthur Smith is not ready for him to get back on the field, what can we do? But
Okay,
hopefully
man.
he plays at least 2 drives.
Wait, yeah, at least two. But I'm just saying, man, hear me. Just because he has, I know. You make it. First of all, Winston, perfect sense. Definitely saying, not saying you're wrong, not saying that you're wrong either, Smitty. It's just for me, man. We drafted this man like fourth overall, man. It's like at the same
Yeah,
time, I
yeah,
do
yeah,
want to
yeah.
see something. And I remember something that you said a few months ago, like really when we first met, and it was about his mental.
Yep.
And that's one thing that he has to work on, something that he has to get on. And I want to see how he is mentally. Like, I'm sorry, I kind of want to see how he is after he takes his first hit, his first real hit.
Right.
First live hit. I want to see like how is he moving? How is he respond? Does he pop right back up like, yeah, give me some more? Does he get up slowly? Like I don't know. It's like I want to see what I do have in this player though at the same time. I want to see his production. I mean, am I tripping? I mean, somebody let me know if I'm tripping.
No, you ain't tripping. That's fair, man. Like you said, my boy Uncle Steve say this all the time. He was drafted fourth overall, and you got to get the most out of him. And it
Right.
just only makes sense. Uncle Steve been saying that for 6 months, maybe a year. But a fourth overall pick, you're gonna throw him in the fire right away. You're gonna see how he gonna produce right away. And he produced his first year. Yeah, he only had one touchdown reception, but 9 out of 10, that wasn't his fault. But
Indeed.
now you get a quarterback with an arm that can make all the throws because Mariota, boy, I tell you, God mighty knows. He missed Kyle Pitts about
Bro,
4 or 5 times wide open last year.
bro, we
Walk
got
in
a
touchdown.
highlight reel about that. We have a highlight reel of him just constantly, constantly, constantly. Yeah, I gotta say it that many times. Missing throws because it's been just that many times. Him missing throws. It just, man,
Boy,
it just drove me crazy, man. Just being a Falcon fan, just being in front of your TV, and you be like, "Oh, touch!" And then he just miss it. You just be ready to throw something, but then you got to realize when you throw it, you got to clean up whatever you threw, and it just just be a
and if you
lot, bro.
break it, you break it, your wife gonna cuss you out. Then you're gonna have to go buy another one.
You feel me?
So
Like it's just everything. Just nah. Ghost Peppers. Ghost Peppers say 695, 4 touchdowns for Pitts,
that's
and
fair.
that's fair too. Yeah, that's fair too because that's very realistic as well. Again within this offense and what Ritter has to work with, London and Mac Hollins, and man, he got some weapons, man. Bijan's definitely going to be.
That's gonna be his biggest weapon. He don't know it yet.
Right.
Because you have to audible out of one play into a blitz, into a quick hot route. Guess who the first person you're gonna look for? The running back. So,
and not just any running back, the best running back in the draft, bar none, bar none.
and his line at Texas was not that good last year, and
That's
he
what I'm
still
saying.
ran for 1,800 yards last year. So,
Right.
Man,
Just, it's just real, man. Real quick, I got to get to this one before we move on, man. Oh man, what you got going on, bald head? What you got going on?
oh man, I mean that's fair though.
Yeah.
And I think on the one I did on my show on the video I did, they had put up a question 2,600 yards over or under for Desmond Ritter, and it was only like 159 yards a game, and he can do that. So
Yeah.
that's how I came up with 3,300, which is a little bit over 200 yards a game.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, but you're
that's
right. Average 235. That's over 4,000. And it's crazy because, Ritter. I think Ritter can do that. I think 235, 240 a game. I think he could do that. I think that's possible with these weapons, man. But we'll see. We'll see. But it's possible, man. It's possible. We've seen worse quarterbacks do something similar numbers. So,
man, look.
I'm talking about. We've seen some trash out there, y'all. I mean, we all can say that, right? We've definitely seen some trash out there.
Let me say this right quick. Mark Burley, I did see Marcus Mariota, and dog, he's still.
I was pulling it up. I was pulling it up. Bro.
Dog.
I had retweeted that as well on Twitter. I was like, man, I've seen this somewhere before. Him just overthrowing out there in Philly. So their problem, not ours. You know what I'm saying? Thank God, thank God it ain't us anymore. So
that was awful.
Yeah, man. We already knew that Mariota wasn't going to be the start. It wasn't going to be the pretty much. He was just a bridge. He wasn't going to be the future, and he showed it. And said it is what it is. Now let us move on to the next part of the show, which is best cases to make the team. Who made the best case for them to make?
Boy, this is a good one.
Yes, sir.
So,
who made the best case for them to make the team in this past preseason game against these Dolphins?
Everybody in the chat, y'all drop y'all comments.
Oh yeah.
But
definitely want to hear from you guys.
I'm gonna look outside the box, and I'm gonna go back to OTAs, and I'm gonna say Jalen Hawkins. And that's because I still feel, and I've been telling y'all this for 2 years, he's one of the best athletes on the team. Simple, plain as day. But the problem that I think he has is reading coverages. I'm sorry, not reading coverages. Reading the wide receiver routes. He sometimes get caught looking in the backfield, and he just get lost. And if he can fix that and put that athleticism into use, he could probably be one of the best young safeties in the league, because this kid can jump out the building. He can hit. And I would love to see him make this team. And to be honest, and no slight to Richie Grant, I would love to see Jalen Hawkins instead of Richie Grant, because Hawkins just has that athletic upside that Richie does not.
That's absolutely true, man. He's one of the best athletes on the team. One of the best athletes on the team. And like we was talking off air, man, he just got to put it all together, man. Just up here and with the physical aspects, man. So he does that. I can see what you're talking about, man, because I mean he's definitely a better athlete than Richie, man. Richie's good. Richie's good. Hold on. We're not bashing.
Yeah, he's good. That's just me. I just feel like athletic wise, Jalen Hawkins is just that dude. And I give you a perfect example. Mm-hmm. I always knew LeBron James was the best athletic forward in the NBA, and has been for 20 years. But a lot of guys might not think about Josh Smith played for the Hawks, being as athletic as he was, trying to shoot 3-pointers, and God, Lord, forgive why he did that. Athletic wise, Josh Smith was just as athletic as LeBron James. Now, I'm not talking about scoring. I'm just talking about athleticism, period. So you talk about
Which,
somebody that could dunk the ball, somebody that can block shots. Josh Smith could do that. And I think he was only like 6'8".
yeah, man. Man, that's a good one right there, man. I'm gonna go with Mr. Breon Borders. I'm gonna go with Mr.
That's a good
Breon
one.
Borders. I think who can make this team, man. He had 2 solo tackles. I mean, 5 total, 2 solo, 3 assisted. Had that interception, man. He had his nose in there. He showed a lot. He showed a lot of flashes for me, man. I think he deserves another look over as far as like to try to make this team. Um, also, I can't even deny it, man. Even Brooks, man, Natron Brooks, solo tackles, 3 solo tackles. He had 3 of them, and it was
He had a
also
sack too.
yeah, exactly, and he also had a sack. Came off
Yeah,
clean with that
clean.
sack too, and
But that to me that was perfect play calling.
it
And
was
this is what I mean about you gonna have to push for this team because we saw the second string out there playing like the first string on defense. It was a lot of bend but don't break. But imagine the first unit coming in and doing the same thing and being even better at it. That's just going to be a sight to see.
indeed, man. I'm trying to find. I think I might have lost it. Let's see if I
But
can
we
find it.
we got a couple of comments in there.
Yeah,
Blinken Stick said
I
94.
want to say real quick, D Alford will be on the team
Oh
regardless.
yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Regardless, we ain't got to worry
Lock.
about it, especially after that 79-yard return. But even before that, he was definitely going to be on this team regardless. Definitely
Yep.
just wanted to point that out real quick to my
Blinken
main
Stick, she said 94, which is Albert Huggins Jr. He
Yes,
had a nice game at nose tackle. He's about 6'3", about 305, 310. He had a pretty good game against the run, and he got a half a sack. When he got back there with Mike Jones Jr. for that sack on the quarterback. So
indeed, indeed,
yeah,
indeed,
that's
indeed.
another good one.
Yep, man. Like, and Ricky Smith here was saying, what I'm saying, Higgins, he was looking good. He did look good, man. He did. He really did. A couple other people was talking about 94. That's who 94 is, Mr. Higgins, as
Yeah.
well. And then we also had Mike Jones out there. Yeah, Mike Jones sighted. And I think he did some good out there to make this team. He like we was talking about on the previous live, Smitty out there, almost looking like Deion Jones out there.
Yeah. He was
So
flying
rocking
all
that
over the field, man.
yeah, rocking that 45. So yeah, man. It's definitely some other people, man. Let me ask you how you feel about now. For me, I feel like he was a seesaw, but he is playing linebacker, and he did have 5 tackles total, 4 solo with 1 assisted. This is Mr. Tay Davis. How do you
Um,
feel about him?
I had him penciled for special teams anyway.
Okay.
He's been mainly a special team guy his whole career, so that's where he excels at. But if he can get snaps, behind one of those middle linebackers, I would not be mad because he was flying all over the field as well. And as we say, and it's a testament to Arthur Smith and what he preaches, man. We get these defensive linemen that's been journeymen. Look at last year
Yeah,
with Anderson. He got a new contract this year.
he did.
Um, who was the other guy? Anthony Rush before he got cut.
Yeah,
He came in, he was helping Jesse Tuggle get sacks. So it's sometimes it's just about the coaching and the willing to play. And if they can tie both of those two together, that's how you make a successful team. Because those second and third string players, it was not a surprise because they were coached to play like that. You look at Ryan Nielsen and Jerry Gray, both of those guys are aggressive minded coaches, just like Arthur Smith. And that's why you're going to see a lot of aggression on this team. Uh, Flying to the football, playing all the way up to the whistle. So you won't see no off plays because they know if they see off plays, they're gonna get pulled out the field, and who knows what could happen after that.
yes, sir. Now I brought this up. Now we was already talking about Hawkins and Alford, but yeah, Josh Ali, man. How do you feel about Josh Ali? Because he did have a drop, but he has been having a good training camp. So it's like
Boy,
that's the
I
one
want
thing he has going for his. I mean, everybody's going to drop a pass. I know you have limited opportunities to do these things, though, man. It's like, can you see him still making the team? Do you feel like a guy like Frank Darby, a guy who I'm rooting for, you see him probably like maybe making a step up along with him and Whiteside over our league now?
and I think Ali to me he got the advantage because he started 2 games last year, and He got a little bit more playing time than anybody else in his receiving core, other than the typical guys. So he has the heads up. Frank Darby, he's been making plays in training camp and
Right.
OTAs, but can that translate to on the field? That's what we're waiting to see because I watched him at Arizona State and he can play. It's just that some reason, like I said about Jalen Hawkins, it's the focus, learning the plays, learning the playbook. I guess that's what he's having problems with. But funeral service, I agree, man. Xavier Malone is another one to look out for.
Definitely. Okay. That was I had he was on my list here as far as like to ask you about players that you're thinking about. But yeah, Xavier Malone, he definitely showed flashy. I like the fact how he went up for the pass, brought it down, knew he was going to get hit, took the hit, got up like who won it. So it's man, I love Xavier Malone. I'm really rooting for him. I've been rooting for him really when they was having spring training and spring practice and everything, and he was showing some flashes back then too. So it was like I said, man, who is this guy, man? He got a little something, and he's continuously moving forward. And I think he has a chance to make this team as well. I wanted to bring
Definitely.
up this particular comment here. All right, Mr. Nate. Do you believe in the linebackers after letting go a solid piece in Michael Walker? Now,
Mm,
I mean, okay. Now, Michael Walker, he was versatile. He was a versatile linebacker. You know, you could do different things with him. But again, back to your point, he already had one strike against him because he was a Dan Quinn guy. You know,
yep.
then two, man, he was inconsistent. He just was not consistent enough. And I know that we don't know too much about Glenda outside of stats and probably some highlights. We don't know how he's going to gel. But if those who have faith in Ryan Nielsen, like shoot, some of us should have by now, I know I got my faith in him. He should be able to use them because now we
Yeah.
have Landman, Ellis, Anderson, with the possibility of Tay Davis. He's trying to make the team, and other guys who are still trying to make the team. So
Yeah. Mike Jones, too. So,
yeah, Mike
yeah.
Jones Jr. You have him as well. So you
And
bring
that's the
in
crazy part. He started 12 games last year. In the second unit, the guys were playing harder than he was. That's not a good look.
He's playing with the second unit. Let's talking about Walker, man. He playing with the second unit. 24 snaps again. So I mean, he had decent amount of snaps as far as with them, but honestly, did he? Because 24 snaps, 11 on special teams, and then he got yanked off the field.
Right.
So
Right.
it wasn't. He got yanked off the field, man. It just is what it is.
Here's
I
what it
wish
is,
it
bro.
was best, but he just wasn't consistent enough. And the new regime, I repeat, the new regime is dedicated to putting the best players on the field. So
So,
let's see if we really miss Michael Walker, which I don't think we
so
will.
to answer that question, I got faith in the coaching staff.
Exactly.
Now,
Faith
we
in the
might not have a lot of talent at the middle linebacker position, but I believe in the coaching staff to get it right.
right, right. Because it's all about. Sometimes it's not about what I'm saying, like how high a guy went and everything like that. Can you plug and play this player to do the best that he possibly can? Do you trust
Right.
him enough? Can you put him on the field and trust him to do the right thing, be in the right spot, and go ahead and make plays?
Yep.
Indeed,
Absolutely.
indeed. Trust the process.
You got to.
Trust you can
Got
trust the
to.
process. Indeed. Trust the process. Oh
We
yeah,
got
I gotta
another
go.
question at the bottom.
Oh, yeah. What you got? What you got real quick before mine?
Ricky Smith say, "Do y'all think Scotty Miller's a lock? I think some of those other receivers are better. That's possible. We talked about Josh Ali and Xavier Malone, so he's not safe either. Like I said, nobody's safe outside of a couple of people. That we talking about AJ and Grady Jarrett, Chris Lindstrom and Jake Matthews. Anybody else is open season. So
Indeed,
Scotty Miller could be on the outside looking in. Who knows?
indeed, man. I seen something about Mayfield. I seen a Mayfield sighting. I seen a hitman Hillums. I did like Hillums, man, and also shout out to Trey Flowers too on that interception that Hillums did get. Because if he didn't get in there to break it up, it possibly could have been a touchdown. So he got in there, broke it up. Hillums making the play, but Hillums is a bruiser, and I absolutely love that. something that a guy like William Moore used to do. And
Yeah.
just talking about just old bruisers for the Falcons, Keanu Neal.
Scott
So it
Case.
just
I go back to the
Scott
old
Case,
school,
yes,
Brian
sir,
Jordan.
Scott Case.
Yeah, man.
Indeed. So we've had
Marco
some great
Ellis.
team. And that's something that, after we think about it, when we lost Neal, like when we lost him to injury and of course, being off the team, we really haven't had a real bruiser anymore. So Hillums is a breath of fresh air. And I love a guy who just ready to go out there and knock somebody out.
Yeah.
Indeed. Just go out there and just knock somebody out, man.
Funeral
All right.
service at Frank Barber just got waived.
What? Breaking news, guys. We have breaking news. Funeral services, man. Breaking news. Frank Darby just got waived. Wow. Okay. Frank Darby, who was having a great training camp, who was out there, competing, just got waived.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's just too much competition now. I can't say it on your thing because I don't want to get you no strike. But trust me, you can't be out there messing around, man. You can't be. Arthur Smith not playing.
Yeah, he not playing. And but that goes back to what I just said a few moments ago. Putting the best players on the field, period. But this is shocking to me. And it also actually kind of jacks up the next part of the segment before we closed out, man. Because and I'm gonna go ahead and jump on over to that, as a matter of fact, which non-starter are you rooting for? And my guy was Frank Darby, the guy who just got waived.
And I'm gonna say too, man, I'm gonna stick with Jalen Hawkins, man. Like I said, that dude just, man, he's a special talent. I just hope he can unlock it before it's too late.
Right, man. Seems like I think Miss Blankenstitch said Chris Blair too. Yeah, Blair, I'm not surprised.
He got cut about a month ago, so he been gone.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't.
Well, no, it's been about 3 weeks because he was there when I went to training camp on the 29th of last month. So he got cut the following week.
What's up, Rick? Man, I don't know what's going on, man. So, it said okay. Triple X says he's injured. That's terrible. I'm gonna lie, that's terrible. I didn't know that he had
Yeah, they doing a lot of wave and injured, so
yeah,
it's not over for him specifically.
Yeah, it's not over for him.
He can come back. Just like our favorite player, Felipe Franks, can come back.
Oh my God. Hold on. Hold on real quick. I almost just stopped the show. Can we is there anybody in the chat who wants Felipe Franks back? If there's anybody in the chat, please make yourself be known right now. I need to get me a moderator and all that stuff just in case it is somebody out there. Because boy, please don't bring him back, just like don't bring Mariota back, any of those guys, okay? My goodness. Tay Rush has an interesting thought. Oh, no, that's not Tay. My bad, Tay. Moving so fast, man. Matt Hennessy is gonna get cut next.
I can see that.
Really?
But the reason why, I can see that. I'm gonna just say, I can see that because I look at Drew Dahlman. He has the center position locked down, and then his backup is a rookie, Jonathan Gwynn, who's been playing very well against the run. I mean, very well in the run game. Something that Matt Hennessy kind of struggles with. So yeah, I can see Matt Hennessy getting cut.
Man, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with Justin Schaefer. I feel like he's in a situation where, speaking of, yes, Mr. Tony may be the next player to be waived, as he's not getting playing time. He did go to University of Georgia, and holding a penalty in that second half didn't help his cause. Yeah. I mean, it's like I have high hopes on Schaefer, and it may be because of the University of Georgia. I may be a homer on Schaefer. Like, he may be not as good as I think he could be. It's a possibility.
It's just performance, man. It's just performance. Sometimes when you make it to the next level, some people, they reach deeper down inside themselves to be great. more than other players. So that's probably what the case is. He's probably talented, but someone in training camp is just showing up, showing their true football skills, and they're just better than him.
Right.
Sometimes that's just the problem.
EB, what's good, man? Hennessy is the backup guard, and he's not getting cut. I can see that too, man. I mean, I like Hennessy, man. I like him as a backup or just being on the team. I think he's serviceable. I think Hennessy is serviceable. But here's the guy right here. This the one. That's the one right there.
Man, you put scissors up there. You should have put a lawnmower because he need to get cut like a lawnmower, not scissors.
Man, what you talking about? I'm just drop the bomb and just get rid of him, man. Because yeah, man, Mayfield. Should, okay, I got a take. Mayfield should have stayed in college. How about that? He should have stayed in college.
Yep, possibly.
He stayed in the college a little long because he just now has been performing. Ever since he got thrown into the fire, he just has not been performing. Just not has been performing.
Thrown into the fire the first game, he got burned the first game.
Yes, a lawnmower. Yes,
a lawnmower.
Lawnmower.
That's how he should get cut. A whole lawnmower. Come over and cut my grass with you. Sorry, let me shut up. See,
man, it's the truth. I ain't gonna lie to you. You can't be flagging people for the truth now. This man is just sorry as all get out, man, and it just is what it is. It just is what it is, man. He just one of them guys who just like, hey, man, you going over there and just sit at the end of the bench. Just go on over there.
The key word, get out, because he need to get out.
Yes. I'm talking about for real. What we got here? Ghost Pepper. Got one from Ghost Pepper, man, talking about Frank Darby here, man. Said I have to be honest. I'm not shocked. Majority of the time Darby was here, seems he put more effort into becoming the Knicks. Stucky.
Yeah, he used to be on Coming.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm like.
Yeah, heard that name in a long time.
Yeah, that right now. You pulled one there, Ghost Pepper. Instead of becoming a productive wide receiver for us. And I can't even lie, man. You got a point. I mean, because let's just be honest. The most times we'll see him, he was pretty much our Juju Smith-Schuster. He was right. Dancing, smiling, and even though those are great intangibles as a person to have, I love people who smile. I love people, who want to have a good time. That's the type of personality I am. I love to have a good time, personality, all that good stuff. So, like, as far as, like, going, hanging out, like, yeah, call Frank. We'll see what we can got going on. But as far as being on the football field, that's a totally different animal. And that's just somewhere he just hasn't been. I was hoping that special teams, I kept mentioning special teams because I was hoping that would be the thing that kind of keep Darby and cling him onto the team. But he's been waived, and due to injury, if memory serves me correctly. So we'll see what happens moving forward with Darby, though. I think he may be back on the practice squad, but I can't even I can't cap, as they say. This is true, man. This is true. I mean, he hasn't. Yeah, man. He just hasn't been on the field, and he has been more of a comedian, more so than an actual player.
One thing I will give him credit for, he has played special teams pretty good. So if they bring him back, special team would be the reason why.
Interesting take here. Hold on. 1 second. Be right back at you. Interesting take here. Which tight end is getting cut next? Because I feel like we have too many. If I had to guess, I'm going Fitzpatrick.
If I had to guess, I'm going Parker Hess.
Yeah. Forgot about Hess, man.
And the reason why you talked about John Fitzpatrick. Right. He's a blocking tight end. That's what Austin Smith loves. He's a red zone target. He can catch the ball in the red zone pretty good. So he, to me, I think he would be more valuable than Parker Hess. And Parker Hess has been with Austin Smith for the last 5 years. But still, I just think Parker Hess loses his job to Fitzpatrick.
Yeah. And I like Fitzpatrick, another University of Georgia guy, you know what I'm saying, who, like you said, blocking tight end, definitely going to help in the run game, man. So definitely can't.
And he's 6'7". You can't teach that.
He is. He can't teach. You can't teach that at all, man. You can't teach that at all. Let's see what else we got, man, before Okay. Yeah, but I mean Fitzpatrick, man. I guess you can say between. Wait a minute. Bully said Hess or Pruitt. Now,
Ooh,
well, now that's a bold one right there because we brought Pruitt back. I know it was at the pretty much right before training camp, but I mean we brought Pruitt back, and I know him and Desmond Ritter they do have what I'm saying like a rapport with one
some
another. So
chemistry. Yeah,
yeah, it's like so I'd be surprised. I'd be very surprised if I seen Pruitt on the chopping block. I
I
would. That
think
was
they'll
shocking.
keep Pitts, they'll keep John Smith, they'll keep Pruitt, and they'll keep Fitzpatrick. I think that'll be their four tight ends.
Now I've been kind of waiting around to see if anybody was going to mention him, but real quick, I'm gonna come back to your comment in 1 second. But yeah, a guy that we haven't mentioned yet, and I just want to touch on him. He did have 3 solo tackles and a sack, and that's Cliff Chapman. What I'm saying, a very tall safety. I believe he's
6'5",
six.
190.
Yeah, 6'5", 6'5". So what I'm saying, he's a
190.
tall guy, and I mean, he had some flashes too. I know he did miss a play or two as well as far as like tackling and everything. But outside of that, he had a pretty solid game. Got in there, got him a sack. That's a guy that we haven't mentioned. But how do you feel about Chapman? You think he has any way to try to slide into the team? Because that's a very busy
Yeah,
back
that's an
backfield.
intriguing pick there, but I think he may not make it because of the depth they already have.
Yep, they got depth.
But he also worked out for the Falcons last year, so he does have a leg up in that aspect. And if he plays well against Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, that's a possibility he could make this team because, like I said, you can't teach size.
Indeed, indeed, you really can't. And then another thing too, man, I just wanted to bring up before we get ready to get up out of here, man. Yeah, I wanted Slayer. I thought we was going to get him instead of Schaefer, and I was surprised that we passed him
And
up.
he was still on the board.
He
That's the
was
bad
there. We
part.
could have got him. That's what I'm saying. We could have
And he
got him.
played. And he played at a Pro Bowl level his rookie season.
Man, I'm telling you. So like, and seeing that, I was like, I had to even go back. I was like, I know I'm not tripping. I know we could have got him, and he was on the board, and we took Schaefer instead. And now Schaefer may not even be on the team. We'll see what happens because waves and cuts are definitely going on. This new regime is not playing guys, best players on the field. They meant that. And as fans, we should love that. We should really love that. And the new regime is trying to do away with all the old stuff, all the
Right.
old stuff that was linked to the Falcons. You know what I'm saying? And I love it. This is a new day. This is a dawn of a new day, and we should be all thankful for it.
No doubt.
Yes, sir. Oh. Last question, real quick. Do you think we will have 4 running backs? Only
Ooh, boy,
because I
that's a
know
$1 billion question.
talked about this. We kind of touched on this a little bit off air. So yeah, this is a great question right here. Thank you, Funeral Services. You've been very active, and I appreciate that, and I'm pretty sure Smitty does as well. But
Don't say
yeah,
it. Don't say active when you talk about funeral services.
okay. So that was my bad, y'all. That was my bad, y'all. But yeah,
Oh
man,
man,
Carlos and Godwin, man, they definitely, hey man, both of them have been showing some flashes. Actually, I gotta say more than flashes. Both of them have been good. Both of them have been good, and it's crazy because that running back room, man, it's crowded, just like that defensive back room.
yeah.
So it's like, can we really maybe put Godwin on special teams? Is there any kind of way we maybe can get Carlos? Maybe I
Well,
don't know.
Godwin Egobute,
Yeah,
Egobute, whatever his name
yeah,
is.
man, I'd be
He's a
butchering it, and I'd be hating it.
he's a specialty return guy anyway. He had 11 returns last year for over 300 yards, so he averaged 20 some
Right.
yards a return. So that may give him an inside track as to making the team as a running back. How they will put CP on the roster, I'm still clueless because they can put him as a kick returner or a special teams guy, and he can still play running back or wide receiver. So CP, man, I think they should keep him just because he's so versatile and he can be one of those glue guys for the locker room. And $5 million is not much by NFL standards. So the money is not the problem, but I would love to see that Godwin kid play because what he showed the other night, man, he may have some gas in the tank to take over that number 3 spot. But if they keep 4 running backs, I think he would make the team.
Yeah, I can see that as well, man. And I am going as well. Godwin right now, he has shown a little bit more. It's still it's still close between those two, but yeah, Godwin is probably like edging them out just by a little bit. And the guy is good, man. I really wouldn't want to see him like go to somewhere else and someone else start using him. I want to see how we could kind of like keep him around for depth and, like you say, for special teams as well, man. Really, both of them, they're both nice, man. They're both good guys.
No doubt.
So, yep, man. So, well, guys, this has been, it's A1 Forever Sports and Smitty Sports Machine coming to you live, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for, showing support. And if you haven't already, please, subscribe to my channel, which is A1 Forever Sports, where we be generational, where it's always time to be. And we don't settle for less. We don't settle for less at all. We can have more with the vision. What about you, Smitty, man? Anything you want to say to the people?
I just want to thank my followers for coming through, showing you support, man. Jumping in the chat. I just wanted y'all to know, man, I appreciate y'all all the time, man, for supporting me and supporting who I support, if that makes sense. Because without y'all, man, there would be no Smitty Sports Machine. And y'all know that. Because even though sometimes y'all cuss me out and get on me, that pushes me more, that gives me better insight, gives me a better way to put a better product out. So thank y'all, man. And again, if y'all haven't subscribed to A1 Forever, please go over and do so, man. This young guy's putting in work behind the scenes. And trust me, man, from the conversation we had, man, I think this kid is going places. Trust me. I'm 44 years old now, so I'm going to push him to be great.
Hey, man, and I have to say, man, just pretty backing off of that, man, Smitty has been pretty much just like a big brother to me, man. Just, I would run ideas by him, and he'd be like, "Hey, man, you got something there," and and even if I don't, I mean, he gonna let me know that too. So it just giving me the real, and I always will say I'm grateful for that. I know it's other people who you work with who can definitely say the same, man. Smitty, you 100, you solid. I really appreciate you, and thank you for everything you're doing for me, man. Really appreciate it.
No problem, bro. You're going to get to where you're supposed to be, man. Trust me. Everything takes time, man. Nothing happens overnight.
Indeed. Until next time, y'all be generational because it's always time to be. Come on back to the show that's cool and fly too. A1 Forever Sports with Chris Tipmore, special guest, Big Bro, Smitty, Antwon, Smitty Smith. You know what I'm saying? Already. We'll be back again, man. It's going to be a long, good Falcon season. A lot of great things for us. Make sure you guys check out my man's Berto. And I know out of your Falcon mind, they got a little something for you around 7 or 8 o'clock tonight.
7:30. Yeah, 7:30.
Yep.
Yeah,
So make sure you guys
Berto, out of your Falcon mind, they're gonna be on tonight. So y'all please check them out, man. I'm gonna be in the comments, so y'all make sure y'all be there. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun, man.
Yes, sir. Until next time, y'all, peace and blessings to you guys. And we will pop.